Hello guys, this is JC speaking, and in this quick demo, I'm going to show you how we can capture data from site using Microsoft Power Apps, Microsoft Automate, and Microsoft Power BI to automate the whole process end to end. So let's take a look at this. Let me share you my screen really quick. There we are. And let's start first from depicting the full picture, right? So this is the process we want to automate. That is basically how we measure physical progress, right? And how we track our resources, our quantities. So this app is going to be for the type 1, the quantity tracker, okay? So in this process, we need to capture that data. Originally, we use Excel, so we're going to stick to Excel at the beginning. But from Excel, that we are going to build upon our baseline data, we're going to use that data to input that into Power Apps, and using Microsoft Forms as well. Within Power Apps, we're going to submit, we're going to entry our data values. Okay, so every shift, every day, we can submit that data. And what's going to happen next is that we're going to use Power Automate to tell Microsoft Forms that every time someone submit a data point, a value, right? I want that to go through an approval process using Microsoft Teams. So there's going to be an approver. And once that approver click on yes, that data is going to be pushed down into an Excel that is hosted on the cloud, right? On the cloud. So SharePoint, a OneDrive, whatever. Once that data point has landed on that Excel, now we can push that simultaneously to Power BI from the cloud, right? And that will give us an automated report every second, every time we submit any data point entry, right? And then we can visualize our dashboards, and we can embed that and publish them into SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, whatever you want, just to make them available. Obviously, that will start all over again once we have that ready. So that's the picture. So let's see how we actually do that using all of these different tools. Okay, so let's start by showing our spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet we are using to set our baseline values of each of the quantities we want to track, right? We're going to have the plan values. And from this baseline, that is just a spreadsheet on the cloud, we can build upon our first dashboard. So this is going to be a really quick sample dashboard just to show what we are capable of. And we're going to have here all the baseline values. And then you can reforecast your values at any point just using your Excel. So if I come back to my Excel and see welds, so you see welds over here, it's just got values on shift number 5. So I'm gonna add that into, I think it's shift number 9. So I'm gonna add here like a big value. I'm gonna save this from the spreadsheet, and I'm just gonna come back to my Power BI dashboard and just need one click, obviously, just to refresh this. So I'm expecting to have that value coming in here on shift number 9, right? Once this is completed to refresh and think. Okay, that's just to show that it's possible as well to reforecast, to change our forecast if we need that. You see, it pops up now. But now, most interesting part is how we can capture the actuals using Power Apps. So let me go now and jump over my Power Apps. This is the Power App, a very simple Power App I built on. This Power App allows me to capture 2 types of data. So data to inform our type 2 report, is going to be the schedule, and data to inform our type 1 report is going to be quantity tracker, right? So in this case, let's just go for quantity tracker. So I'm just click here, and what I'm expecting now is to have a Microsoft Forms where I can submit my entry. So let's imagine I'm on site. I can pull up my phone, and then I can just fill this up, right? So I'm just gonna click here, JC, in this case, gonna be, I know, London, or you can put change. We can define that later on. And then we are gonna select a date. So I'm gonna select date, in this case, starting from July, and I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna select August the 3rd. Okay, August the 3rd, because I want to bring those into this dashboard. August the 3rd might be something over here. So you're gonna show that up once it's gone through. So August the 3rd, and I'm gonna go for the first shift. So I just call this early morning, but we can change that. Early morning. Next, this is the shift manager is gonna fill this in. I work on civils because I want to go for crane lifts, right? Civils. Next, and from that civils, coming from baseline, I have these categories. So one of them, crane lifts, and I have told how many units I've installed, and I just can enter from 1 to 10 just to kind of constrain a little bit, not put crazy things like 100, right? Typos. So I'm gonna say I install actually 4. Okay, it's quite high, and I'm just gonna go for submit, right? What's gonna happen now is that Microsoft Automate is gonna start working on this. And my Microsoft Automate is doing this cycle. So every time I submit a new quantity data, it's going to go through an approval process. And it's gonna, if that is approved, it's gonna give me a new row in my table, in my Excel spreadsheet, and send me an email approval. So if you see now, an alert is popping up in my Microsoft Teams because I'm assigned myself to be the approver in this case. And I got this, an approval process cycle that just kick off from that submission. And once this finishes refreshing, I might find this thing. Okay, someone submit this. Okay, way to go. And I'm gonna approve that. So once approved, my approval has gone through, then Microsoft Automate is gonna add one more row, right? It's gonna add one more row on my spreadsheet that is on the cloud. And it's gonna do something like this, right? So this is the spreadsheet and has already created that line with my 4 units over there, okay? So I just need now to come back to my dashboard and just make sure that it needs to go for a little while. And if I click on refresh, my notes show that immediately. This is a couple of minutes over there. But let me try to accelerate that just by going over here. I'm just gonna try to check if that already come through. Once this has refreshed, I can now go and click my refresh button, and that dashboard is already being set up in a way that is going to understand that should land on this crane list visual, and there you go. And then you have your 4 units installed on shift number 10, right? Beautiful. That's the automation we want to implement in this project using Power Apps, Automate, Teams for approval, and finally pushing that into Excel to capture that data directly to a Microsoft Power BI report. Okay, hope you like it. That's everything I wanted to show now. Cheers, guys. See you in a bit.